Welcome back, Crush a Lot Podcast. I'm your boy Cheese. As always, the bodyguard, the pineapple butcher, all the way from Miami, here in New York.
That's right.
We're back in the same room, 6 feet apart, closing out the year.
I guess I'm the barrier.
The barrier here, that deep voice you hear is our special guest, Crush a Lot Podcast. We had a strong year. Thank everybody who, special shout out to everybody who checked out A Score to Settle Volume 1. We appreciate all the support, all the feedback, all the retweets, all the likes, all the DMs. Hopefully you had a chance to check it out and you mess with it, you fuck with it. And if you don't, better pay attention. This is the only one. We have many more coming down the line, but thank you sincerely.
That's right.
From me and Cal. Cal, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Man,
Thank you.
It's this is the third time we meet up after a 3-4 year working relationship. We had to do it big.
Well, that's for real?
We had to, that's for real. We had to do it big. And we got together, we're like, how can we close 2020? There was one name that came into our head. We also had a banner year, and you cannot talk about the resurgence of the underground without talking about this gentleman and the importance that, I know you put this, Cal, a lot in when you think about music, is the artwork, how important that is to the project. And no one does it better right now than our special guest, my man, Cxppington. Sepp, how are you? Make some noise, add some effects there.
Good,
in the studio.
Thank you for
Shout out to Serious Sounds for the hookup on that. And
Right.
how are you?
Shout out, brother. Thank you.
Happy belated birthday.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Man, you had a banner year. You've been all over the place, just stealing people's money. Give me that money. I've worked hard for my talents.
Yeah.
How has 2020 treated you?
Excuse me. Aside from all this COVID madness, pretty good, man. I'm blessed.
I'm glad you made it here safely in the Bronx. You didn't have to wear a vest. You didn't need a bat.
I brought a knife.
You brought a knife? Oh, just in
It's
case.
in the car, though. You know?
And now, for people who don't know you, tell us where you're from, where you grew up.
I'm originally from Rockland County, New York, a small town called Haverstraw. And I now reside in Orange County, which is like a bunch of farms and unpleasant people, but that's where I'm at right now, humbly drawing these amazing pieces of artwork.
Do you need knives over there? Or
No, you need pickup trucks and a farm license.
Oh, man.
If that.
So you need a hoe.
Yeah,
You need a hoe, a clean hoe, and a dirty hoe to get through the day. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, it's great to see the importance of art being a part of the resurgence of this underground scene, and you being in the forefront. I'm always interested in the art part because there's so much technical skills that go into it. It's just not just put things together and that's what it is. What has been your experience with art in your formative years when you first learning to do it? Because I'm a big art person. I got in trouble in school for doodling on my notebooks. That's how I knew I knew I had a creative art side to me. Is that something that you went through as a young person? You just geared towards art?
Absolutely.
And how was your training for that? Did you have training? Did you go for school for it? It was something you just mastered the craft in your own time?
Yeah, from the very beginning, like getting in trouble in class for drawing on the desk, getting detention, and then drawing on the desk in detention. So they're getting expelled for that. It's from the very beginning, I've been attracted to it. It's just a way for me to escape the world, really, and all my years, that's all I've ever known. So from doodling as a kid, it turned into graffiti on the street. Graffiti on the street turned into, comic book art. And comic book art led me basically to this now,
What's your tag? As soon as you said like graffiti art, it brought me back to like when I was 13, experimenting with my tags and my art.
Yeah.
And and then my mom finding out what my tag name was and crying and praying for me. Did you have stuff like that?
I had a few. I had The Source, which I realized fast was fucking corny as hell. And then I settled on Rule, Ruel, and I took over with that one. That's the one I pretty much put up all over the town and wherever I was going, in the high school bathrooms and cafeterias and shit like that. You know, just destroying people's property. I'm sorry, I apologize, but I'm here now. Thank you.
Okay, what's a few albums? What's something you've been listening to within the last, let's say, 2 to 3 days? Something you've been listening to like on repeat or nothing at all? A few albums or singles, anything.
Well, my latest post you see is a remake of the Fania All Stars logo, and that's basically because that's what all I've been listening to this past month. It's just classic vintage Fania records, you know, because everything really like.
You might have to break what that is down to some of the listeners.
It's salsa music. It's old school salsa music.
Yeah, and so if you're old school, if your parents, listen, if you're Latin at all, you definitely know what that is because it was in your house all the time.
Let me be the cornball comparison. It's the Wu-Tang of salsa music, you know.
They have an iconic logo as well.
Yeah, they've all come together. Yeah, their logo's iconic, like the Wu symbol. They've all come together as one, and then when they split up, they have equally as amazing projects. Right. You know.
Now, you know, people may not know a lot about albums, records, who produces them, the engineers, the art. Mm-hmm. What was the one cover or art piece that you gained the most recognition from?
This guy right here. Fly God.
Fly God.
Westside Gunn's Fly God album.
So how did you get to that point where, you know, he noticed you. He was like, let me talk to you.
I introduced myself to him at the first Sean Price Memorial when he initially first passed. It was supposed to be a show at SOB's for his Songs in the Key of Price project. Mm-hmm. And that fell through because obviously his death, and everybody still met up there. So I had done like a little fan piece based off of Vinnie Paz posting the Hitler theme song. And I drew Hitler with the Rolling Stone sweater. And it was weird because fucking Hitler, but, you know, when I saw him at SOVs, you know, I introduced myself. And real humble dude, cool guy, and I showed him the piece, and he was like, yo, let me get your number. And a couple months, well, I think like right after that, I drew the reject face for Conway. And then that took off. Mm-hmm. And then I started trickling into the singles for Fly God and eventually the Fly God cover. So
it's Griselda's success, besides the music, is almost synonymous with the artwork because of how much emphasis they put on the artwork. The whole package is just not their sound and how they present their music and the business side of it, but they have an understanding of all the things that make a project work and their brand, and it seems like you're in there as a very important foundation to that. Right. That introduction to your work in a bigger scale and the momentum that's also with them, has that opened up opportunities in different places in hip hop and outside of hip hop for you?
Yeah, I would say so. It actually expanded me throughout the hip hop ecosystem, you know, so I got to meet a whole bunch of artists that I don't think I would have ever met had it not been for those pieces coming out, you know. As far as outside of hip hop, no, because a lot of those relationships that I have with those people, they don't really listen to rap. Like, so they don't. You tell them what this cover is for, and they'll be like, you know.
Who do you talk? What are you talking about?
So.
Yeah, that's always an interesting thing. Is like hip hop. It brings us forward in so many places, but it's its own universe.
It is.
Right.
It is.
Right.
If you're not tapped in, if you're not in tune, it's not gonna be the same for you. You don't. What the hell do you care about any of this? Like, what do you care? You don't care. You know.
Yeah.
Well, they until they start making money off it, then they'll come.
Once they
get
get to another level in the game, that's when they start noticing, and then they'll go back to those back catalogs and, oh, this was the guy that did that.
Mhm.
So
when you're creating a piece, you know, Conway, Westside is reaching out to you. You got, I would imagine it's Futurewave or Danielson reaching out to you because of some of the big covers that are out there, Air Vinyl. Walk me through your process in terms of getting the idea and the inspirations around ideas in your process from where you start to where it ends. I find those things fascinating because every creator thinks and does things differently. We do our show differently than everyone else. There's almost no way to really, I can't tell someone how to do something because we kind of figured out, duct taped our way through it, but it works for us. Or
what works for us.
It works for us. There's no like template on how to do this. Producers are the same way. They're all meticulously different.
yeah,
That's why I always want to be a fly on the wall when people create. If I could follow their minds on how to get to the product, you have a specific look and sound and techniques and skill level that is fascinating and interesting. Walk us through that process from idea, from hello, yes, I'll take the job, and to like, wow, look at this cover, look at this shirt.
I think you gotta be like that though. You have to be like that because everybody's doing the same of everything. Everything looks the same. Everything sounds the same. You kind of have to be different in that respect. So what you do, it's pretty minimal too. It's not like you go crazy and you make some crazy art. It's minimal and it kind of fits with people's albums too. Like, oh, the sound is minimal. The art is minimal. Like Griselda, they don't go too crazy overboard. So I'm sure you have to make it work for each client.
I'll tell you honestly, my biggest thing with artwork has been always staring at the cover while I'm listening to the music. I've had people like when I was younger like beef with me because I'm beefing with them about loaning me a cassette, a CD, or something that didn't have the original artwork attached.
Right.
Because I just want to stare at the artwork, read the liner notes, and absorb that whole experience. Because that's the most physical you can get to the music.
That's right.
So
it's everything. It's the details. I remember when I used to have the CDs or the tapes, I would open it on purpose so I could read. It's weird. I would read their shout outs.
It's a part of
I would read their shout outs, and then I would be like in the liner, I'd be like, yo, I wonder who this person is. This is on? I would be crazy. Why would I do that? I don't know. It's just interesting to know something about them.
Yeah.
But now I think a lot of music has lost that zest. You don't fucking know the people. It's just like quick music.
Yeah.
Quick, fast, everything's quick.
Yeah, and that's why now I keep it what I want to say, I keep it minimalistic because a lot of these soundscapes, I don't hear them until you guys hear them. They tell me the title and they tell me the name of the artist and then the title of the album, and I go from there. I don't hear any songs. I go to their back catalog and I see what they've done before, and I try my best to associate the cover to their personality more than their music.
Yeah.
So it gets more of a fingerprint that way. It looks more authentic to their story. But I don't listen to I don't get any of the songs ahead of time or none of that shit.
No perks there.
No. And I like it that way because it allows me to really go different places, and try my best to, I don't know, I don't want to sound like a fucking boring art guy, but
save that for for Squat.
Yeah.
Squat beat Shout out to my man Squat.
Yeah. I try my best to just identify their personality through the art. rather than the music. So,
but yeah, okay. See, that's the thing, right? You in what you do, right? You deal with a lot of personalities already, as it is. Has there ever had been a moment where you had to tell a rapper, like, I can't fuck with you. I'm not doing this for you.
Nah, I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice guy. You
are very professional.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna end up in a situation where we gotta see each other down the road. So whatever you're going through right now, I'm gonna excuse you. I'm gonna let your therapist help you with that. I gotta move on to the next.
We'll do a GoFundMe for you.
So, but yeah, I think everybody has their own way of doing stuff. And I try my best to have them conform to me rather than me to them.
Look at that. You're selling yourself right here. Look at this.
I'm going to apply that.
You know what? I want art.
I'm going to apply that to my current relationship.
Yeah. No, it works though. It works though because I don't want them to think I'm judging them.
Yeah.
Because we're not here to judge each other. We're here to collaborate. What are you bringing to the table creatively so that I can match that?
I mean, that's nice too, but there should be more people who think like that too, because a lot of people don't want to collaborate. They don't want to do that.
No.
Yeah, they don't want to do that.
There's also a part of it
gets crazy out there
where it's interesting thing about hip hop, and there's always been a challenging discussion, is that it's always preaching unity, community, and all those things. Those are the fabrics of what make hip hop beautiful and where it came from. And from especially in the late 70s, early 80s, just giving a voice to Black and brown folks to just be creative and do those things. And then it turned into this something else where it's like everyone wants to eat for themselves and not eat together. It's always been a duality of hip hop. It's always been a weird thing, and even when we do
our way a little bit,
and it's always been like that. Even in the podcast game, you'd be surprised. Like there's a lot of people that support us behind the scenes and help us out, and then there's other people they're really threatened with what we try to do and how we do it.
I don't care about that. I'm
here for the beef, though.
I'm not here for any of that. I
go through that a lot, and you know what it is, man. I've been through so much personally in life that now I don't take none of this shit seriously.
Yeah, you can't.
So if we're talking business, we're talking business. If you're just like a clown that you want to make trouble for people and shit, then we have no reason to.
There are a lot of clowns out there. Yeah. Just want you to know that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Let's start trouble at the end of the year. Why not? Let's do that. Hip-hop it's in a great place right now. No matter what type of hip-hop people listen to, there's something for everyone. There's no way to listen to everything. But at least there's some type of hip-hop. If you're into hip-hop, there's something for everyone. It did start with a boom bap kind of sound. There's a nice flesh of different sounds of hip hop all over the place. Pick your genre. We're not here to judge necessarily what you want. But you are very hardcore true to your boom bap roots. Like you're able to, I've been on your live. We've engaged many times. We talked many times. You are very boom bap. If it's not hardcore, New York kind of dusty kind of boom bap sound that I grew up with, I know you grew up with, I know Kalina grew up with, you don't necessarily fucks with it too much. And it took me a while.
Well, publicly.
Me too. You see, I was like East Coast, West Coast. I'm East Coast. I pick my team and screw everything else.
When I'm with my kids, when I'm, doing the dishes, I don't want to hear do boom boom boom.
That's a fact.
Correct. Like my kids are not allowed.
I'm not listening to. It's nothing. It's
my kids are not allowed to play none of the stuff until I approve it. Right. So you ain't hearing no Black Eyed Peas in my house. It's just not gonna happen. You will hear Wu-Tang and Smith and Wesson and things like that, and that's what they gotta listen to. I'm like, you can listen to it on your own time, on your headphones. That's you.
I listen to a lot of stuff though. I have an eclectic brain, bro. So one moment I'm listening to Ito, and then an hour later I'm playing Farruko. It gets like that sometimes.
And there just be sometimes where you listen to nothing. It's like nothing. Yeah. You don't want to hear anything in the car. Yeah. Like you're over it.
Yeah, well, for sure. You need a refresh.
Yeah.
Is there an artist from your youth, from when you were younger, that you feel got more love than what they normally do? Like for me, I'm a big Pumpkinhead guy. So I'm like, no one talks enough about my dude Pumpkinhead.
Pumpkinhead.
Yes. So is there like an artist that, because I know you champion a lot of those kind of artists. Yeah. Is there a group or that don't get enough love in this landscape that got lost in the hip hop timeline that you would be like, yo, check these guys out?
Natural Elements is one.
For sure.
But that's like old.
That's old.
Recently, I would say BIC. Bitches is crazy. Those dudes were... That was a special.
I thought you were talking about all my exes.
Yeah, it was a group. And shout outs to DJ Sucio. He's the one that took over the Stretch and Bobby show on 89.1 when they were done. He put out a group called BIC Bitches is Crazy, and it was like a dope hybrid mix of like boom bap hip hop, but fused into that double time sound that we're used to New York adopting from the South, you know? I thought they were really dope, but
you know what? Back in my days, you had to either go to the box. My days, my young days, where you watch music videos through the box and you called and you put in the number and then your mom's like, why is it $350 charged on my phone? I don't know what the box is, Mom. I remember ordering a video to watch. It was the Five Deadly Venoms. It was like an all girls group. That was like supposed to be the female version of Wu-Tang. I don't know if they were associated with Wu-Tang.
With the chick that had the I won't tell you.
Yeah, I think Jean Grey was in it. I think in that group as well. And I was like, "What is this? Is this?"
That's the AC.
That's the AC.
Y'all saved my neck right now, bro. My shit was like up at knee back there right now.
4 more hours.
And like, yo, V, what you trying to do to me over here? You trying to cook my fat neck, bro?
Oh, shout out to the Five Elements. Never got that album, but you know.
Yeah, that was dope. That was a dope one. What was her name? The chick with the high pitched tone, Entice.
Wow.
Yeah, she was dope. Her voice was a little annoying after like 4 songs, but I don't mean no disrespect. I'm just saying. Yeah.
There's always some of those groups that we latch on to from our youth. I don't know if they're good because as an older listener,
they're probably attached to like memories.
Yeah, correct.
Music like that, it's not necessarily that it's great music. It's just attached to something you were doing at that point in time. Yeah, sentiment.
Yeah, what's dope to you is probably because of what you were going through in that time.
Yeah.
So it resonated. And
or things that people that you cared for or have cared for at some point in time, they showed you, oh, this is this. So you were always going to remember certain music. And I don't know if it's necessarily good.
Yeah.
But...
And another dope artist I remember from back in those days, he's no longer with us now, that was Scientific.
Oh, yeah.
You remember him?
Yep.
Yeah. He was dope. He had a dope project.
I think you can find the Natural Elements of vinyl on Chop Herring right now. I almost bought it the other day. So I know some of their vinyls are still in rotation. Go check out Chop Herring. Though the shipping and handling costs overseas is ridiculous. So shout out to everyone who keeps that low. Thank you very much for that. When you think about the next steps for you, you're at an interesting place because you're in high demand. And sometimes when someone is in high demand, there's like a little bit of an oversaturation thing that happens. And then people kind of looking for that new thing. And I'm always worried that the way artists release projects at a monthly basis, it seems like all the time, that they are watering down their interest in sound. And I worry about that with artists as well who are in high demand, that the new thing will come and it's the new, you know, is that something you worry about? How do you think about your brand, your business, your longevity in this game for it could be sustainable.
I think what separates me from a lot of the other guys that are doing this is that I am a chameleon with art. Although you have a consistent feel, not every execution is the same. And I try different styles and different approaches. And that's, again, attached to the personality thing. I can't draw something for Danielson that I did for 38 Special, because those two guys are not the same. You know,
and they're not the same. Like, if you look at it now, it's completely nothing the same, has nothing to do with each other, and that's great.
And although Danielson may have appreciation for my art as well as 38 Special, doesn't mean that I'm going to give him the same art piece I gave Special. You know, but I really think that that's what separates me from the pack. That I can be different. I can do different things and touch on different mediums and stuff like that. So I think moving forward, the strongest thing that I have going for me is my originality and my ability to explore different styles and execute them in an original fashion. You know.
Well, then who would you want to work for, like, you know, in the future? Sure. Who are some people that you're like, oh man, if there's some way I can get them to recognize what I'm doing, who would be some like major people you want to work with?
I have some subtle flex, but I have some dope goats in my DM right now that I got projects coming soon that were really on that bucket list. So the list is super short right now. So I would say obviously Hove and Nas. Now 50 doesn't rap anymore, so you know what I'm saying? But I would love a Nas project. If you see the cover for his latest one with Hit Boy,
King's Disease,
it looks like what's out there right now in the underground.
Funny.
Yeah, and that's definitely one of the things I've noticed is with imitation is the best form of flattery.
They want to make some money too. You know
there's a lot of steps.
Unless you're just a fucking biter, then it's not flattering.
Yeah, but I think they want to make some money too. So if you don't think they're looking at the underground just a little bit to see how they're making money, that's crazy.
Right.
They're always looking on the underground. But it does seem there's a lot of Seps imitators out there. I'm not going to name no names. I'm like,
you should. I don't. Who are they?
I would love to know. Let me look at this book.
I'd love to know.
Real quick. Wait, that looks. Is that a Seps? What? That can't be. And then, oh my goodness. So
it's good. Listen, it's good to have children. It's good to have children. You spread your seeds out there. You grow your style, and those people eventually lead them back to you. So there's people out there that know of him that might not know who I am, and they'll see somebody call him out on it, and that leads them back to my page. So, glass half full.
That was the most diplomatic I ever heard you.
Yeah, you know what it is.
Seems like a good guy to me.
On my personal time, if him and I talk, we'll talk.
I just want to make a disclaimer here. I don't know who they're talking about, so I'm just here. Okay, I just heard about all this, so you know what?
Always edit it out. It's all good. One of the things that I wanted to ask you, Kalina's gonna get mad when I ask it.
Oh no, let me get out of here.
Don't get out of here.
Done.
So I used to ask this question a lot, and I retired it, but I felt like you would understand this question.
Oh
no! Well, I feel like some shit's coming. Right?
It might be. So
listen, if you listen to the podcast, you know that I'm already.
I haven't done it in a few years.
Okay.
I've been good. But I'm like, I'm gonna bring it up for sex.
Right.
If you could pick one hip hop song from the pantheons of hip hop songs, they could be outside of hip hop if you want. That best describes your mattress mumbo style, your crush a lot style, a song that like That's how I do it. Hear that beat? That's how
that's
I
you
do
told
it.
me. Okay.
Yeah.
Do it. Like
That's how I do it.
okay.
Now, it might be a different Friday mood. It's a different than a Saturday mood and a Sunday mood or a mid-afternoon mood.
Right.
Before the Henny mood.
I haven't heard this question on the show in a lot of episodes, and I'm happy that I didn't hear this question.
I'm gonna say my record is no escaping this.
Oh my God.
Shout outs to the beat nuts.
Shout out to the beat nuts. No, it's escape. We'll put that underneath somewhere.
No escaping this. Yeah.
120 BPM.
Yeah.
Kalina's really mad at me right now.
Gentlemen.
Oh my goodness.
Getting on my nerves.
Yeah, man, Cal. Oh man, I have a lot of champagne in front of me. I want to finish.
We're gonna finish.
So
We're definitely gonna finish it. If you're new to the Crush a Lot podcast, hopefully you check it out. You enjoy, like, subscribe, share, tweet, all that good stuff. Go check the links below. Score to Settle Volume 1 available right now. Physicals coming real soon. We'll have an announcement real soon.
That's right.
You
heard
shout
right.
To Greg Rapper.
Shout out Greg Rapper, another great designer.
And the expert, thank you for all that you do. You are great. You're great.
The expert for being a clutch, different time hours and just coming in the clutch many, many times, saving our asses many, many times.
Right.
That's why he's called the expert.
That's right. And everybody who has tuned into us, the album, you really bought that shit. You know what? Thank you. Very much appreciated. And if you don't fuck with us, that's all right too.
That's okay too. 2001, we have many new plans, many new things coming. We're only taking steps up. Come on board. We're going to be doing it for the culture. We're going to be doing it for you guys. We want everyone to have a great holiday. Be safe. Happy New Year. All that good stuff. If you're not going to wear protection, make sure you pull out on time. I don't want no September babies, guys.
Or just wear your mask. That's the only protection that I know that he's talking about.
Whichever mask you want, do that.
Do that.
Crush a Lot podcast. Calzin is the Pineapple Butcher. My man Cxppington Sepp. Go check him out on his Instagram. Hit his DMs if you want business. Come with the money. Be PayPal ready.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't need to pay rent. Just give it to him.
Yeah.
We're out. Peace.
Sway wallows, king bras and ace bottles. Enough love in my section, don't gotta spray hollow.